Welcome back. Glad you made it. This is a social production. We're doing it on Friday, September the 12th, 2025. Thank you very much for joining me once again, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. If you're joining me from Canada, welcome to me familiars down south in the United States of the Americas. Shout out to you, my brethren and sisters, and further down south, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia's over there in Zimbabwe, Senegal, over there in Singapore, Malaysia, Myanmar, Peru, where else? All around the world. Nepal, we'll get to that as well. Lots of, let me get a sip of this bad boy. Let's just say this, glad to be alive and kicking, I'll say that, and we're gonna get right into it. There's no beating around the bush. It's this one is, we'll start with this one. Oh man, I'm sure many of you have heard over the past few days. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you. This one sucks. But this is a moment to either be united or divided. Divided or united, separated or sticking together like glue. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. That's one of the biggest things. I believe that's all around the news cycle. Also, it's a big event. It sucks. It's absolutely devastating. He was assassinated. If you've not heard by now, you might have. Well, then you heard it now. Then, if you're hearing it from me, that's again. I don't know where to begin with this. This one, oh man, kicking the nads. I'll say that. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Man, I'll say this. It's not a gun problem, I'll say that. It's not a gun problem. It is if I were to narrow it, I'll say get rid of rooftops. Ban rooftops immediately. Get rid of rooftops. Get rid of, slopes, non-slope roof. Just get rid of all rooftops. Get rid of windows. Get rid of, I don't know what to, this one is. Rest in peace, man. It's tragic. It's tragic. That's all there is. There's nothing I could say or do to. My heart genuinely does go out to his family. I know I don't know him, obviously, far apart, but I've seen a few minutes of him here and there. I saw one interview. I saw him in one full interview. That was the longest I've seen the man. It was with Bill Maher. Shout outs. It sucks. It sucks. Oh, it makes me want to just, because this happened from a rooftop, assassinated from a rooftop, which again kind of, parallels the guy who climbed on top of the President Trump's rooftop scenario. It's not, parallels could be drawn. It's it sucks. But that's the thing. I don't know anything. I know very little, just as much as anybody else. Really, give or take a little here and there. I'm not going to be, this isn't. Yeah, my heart goes out to his family, his immediate family, his wife and he's got 2 kids, young kids. That's, again, I'm gonna pray for them tonight. I'm gonna hope that they, again, this is regular loss is always difficult. Whether, it's, if it's just somebody aging or illness or these are, quote unquote, regular losses are difficult no matter who it is. Tragedies like this, when they're, when somebody's taken by, a act of just pure violence and hate, an act of terrorism, there's nothing I could say, there's nothing I could do, there's nothing for the immediate family, that is. All we can do is pray for them, hope that they have strength, hope that they, wish that they, this doesn't, and it happened close to September. It's beginning to not look so good, guys. I'm beginning to think September is one of those months. Or, because we have September 11 way back, and then this one happened September 10th. So it's like right there. And today's September 12th. And it sucks. It's a tragic event. And he's a public person. He's got a lot of attention over this, but it's not to take away from on the same day. Unfortunately, I believe there was another shooting. Colorado school shooting that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't look too deep into it, to be honest with you. These things, it's, again, whether it's a public figure or, average citizens, it's all of it is that it sucks. There's nothing I could say or do except just, I genuinely hope that they find, the immediate family, wife, children, parents, all, close people too. I hope you find peace and in time. It's tragic. It sucks. Absolutely does suck. I believe the guy's still on the loose. I just checked this morning to see if he got caught or not. I believe he's still on the loose, which is also, let's get on top of this shit. Oh, you're going down, son. You're going down. Let's get this guy. Oh, yeah. I'm hoping that we can all take, again, moments like this. It was, Charlie Kirk, MLK, Malcolm X, all these people, all of them, black men who were taken too early from us, leaders, pivotal figures who could have done a lot more. And Charlie was young too. He's 31. God, that is so young. Could have been president. He could have ran for president for sure. He could have ran. Whenever we find this guy, let us just, let's use the cameras to get him. But when we get him, let's have one of those instances where the cameras are gonna be not working for a few minutes or hours, if you know what I mean. Just work the nuts. Oh, this guy is, I don't know what is. I believe they found a gun. They found engravings, something like trans rage or something. I don't know I don't know anything. It is it's both very difficult these days to find the truth, but it's also a time of privilege in terms of we have so much access to information. So it's, it's the cops, it's the, it's the law enforcement folks, and then you got average people just online doing sleuth activities. So it's a whole lot of, the FBI released images of him. Later on, I saw images that was released, and then people said those images only trust the images of the official released images. Be careful of things you see online, because there's been apparently AI images of this guy, altered AI images of this guy. And that's, again, tricky times, because we have the advent of technology to help us, aid us in capturing folks like this. He's not even a person, dude. That is not a person. That's not even an animal. That is just, that's a fucking demon. That's a demon right there. That is evil in human form. That is, I don't know how to, it absolutely does suck. Hopefully we can, again, what I would like us to do, mass majority of us, I hope we can learn from this, come together, stop pointing to, again, I've seen rhetoric from different sides a little bit. The discourse needs to change, guys, fam. This whole pointing fingers to left, right, these things need to change. We need to come together. There's vast majority of people, it doesn't even matter which side you're on. Left, right, the religious views, mass majority of people are really good people. You've got to somehow not just believe that, practice that, I don't know what to, but yeah, pointing to mass groups of half the population, pointing to half the population from either side, trying to, pin blame on, it doesn't help anything. It doesn't help the situation. Mass majority of us are people who walk down the street each and every day, neighbors, family members, relatives, friends, all with different varying points of views on many different subject matters, but we get along just fine. But yeah, instances like this should not be used against it. Let them not succeed. Whoever these folks, these few individuals who like to, fan the flames of division, fan the flames of, hatred. It's sick. And it's a smaller population, but they, it's both internal and it comes from external sources as well. And it comes from bots as well. So it is one of the most fascinating times we're living in. Maybe other prior generations have probably said that about their times, and probably following generations will probably say the same thing about their time. But currently we're right here, right now. So this is, again, best of times, also coupled with, very, it sucks instantly. And we're getting closer together. We're becoming closer. We're becoming a global community, for things are no longer, it's not just a local event. This is instances like this is not just it's not just a local event where it happens in the United States and you're like, well, it doesn't affect me if I'm in a different country. We're becoming so intertwined. It's both got its positives, negatives. I'm sure the positives outweigh more than the negatives. But yeah, hopefully we can learn from this. Hopefully we can, I don't think, again, this was not the first instance. This is not going to be the last instance of these sort of, just acts of hatred, acts of violence. It's, I hate it. There's nothing I wish to, it's not a damn thing I could do. There's not anything except, again, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to say a brief little prayer tonight for his immediate family, of course, and hope that they find strength and peace and so in time. This is not going to be it. And yeah, my heart genuinely does go out to my brethren and sisters in the US, because again, September 11th, what a sucky day, dude. Sucky day. And then this happened. So right now, so far, September's not looking too good. Let's just, in terms of, things, September happened, and then you had the things happen on it. Yeah, I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea who this guy is. He might be, and that's the thing too. Instantly when it happened, that's one of the things, jumping to conclusions early and just saying, oh, he's this, or let's find out who this guy first of all is. Let's find that out. And by the time this gets released, we may have had him he may be caught by the time that I upload this video. But yeah, jumping to conclusions and broad strokes of general broad strokes, and saying this is the left's fault or this is the right's fault or this, it's moments of just pure evil. It is, and vast majority of people on either sides or even different sides, again, whether political, religion, whatever you want to, ethnically, whatever you want to, most people are good. We should always remember that. We should come together. We should use this as a moment to come. Charlie would have wanted us to come together. Charlie, again, I've not met the guy. I've only seen a very few moments of him interviewing or talking, debating with people. I believe this happened in the Utah Valley University, where he was attending another, just another debate or an event. And it's, yeah, he was a talker. He was a talker. He'd like people to talk. He'd like us to talk, I believe. We've got our mouths. We got our mouth holes. We got our words. We got, and sometimes we're not going to agree on everything. I know I don't even agree with all the things I say. So and that's just a personal thing. What about, so it's each and every one of us. I hope we can learn from this. It sucks that it has to come to this. It sucks that this type of stuff happens. But in the future, I hope that we could learn and be better for Charlie. I hope we can be better for Charlie, for Charlie's kids, for other people who have gone in the past and try to do the same similar things to bring people together through just dialogue, talking, and resolving issues through, debate, chatting. And that's the thing. So we got to be okay with not agreeing with each other. It's got to be okay that you don't agree with 100% of the things other people. I don't agree with 100% of the things I say, let alone other people. So it's learn that there's, we should all learn. There's one globe. We should, this globe, this marble, there's only one of it. There's only one of it. There's no space where we can, whatever issues we're dealing with, whether it's the economy, whether it's inflation, whether it's housing, whether it's immigration, whether it's technology, whatever it is, all these things, we are going to have to tackle it together. There's no isolationist way of saying, well, if we could just lock this place, there's nowhere to run. This is it, for the time being at least, until we discover maybe another habitable planet, or go off onto the moon or Mars or whatever we may want to do in the future. We have got to come together. It's I hope we can do that. I believe we are. And instances like this should not be used against the vast majority of us who want to see other people be happy, healthy, live with their families, friends, communities, all of us doing it together on one little globe, guys. That's all we've got. 360, there's no sides to it. It's one globe. It's all of us together. Doesn't matter if it happens in the US, doesn't matter if it happens in Asia, Africa, doesn't matter. We're all literally just one. Life is finite, and these things, again, I genuinely, my heart goes out to his family and my brothers and sisters in the US. Let us find this son of a bitch. I saw the image of him. It's the thing. The first image I saw of him was that kind of looked like he was wearing a mask. It was maybe it was a shitty image. That's the thing. Schools, ban rooftops. I'll say that once again. Ban rooftops. Schools. We've got to. Not looking good for schools. I'll say that. Debate. not looking good for schools right now, just in general, in terms of college, university. It really makes you think, is it even worth it at this point? Not to say that, of course, education is good, but I'm just saying it's, because all of this, a little bit of it does stem from the educational system. And again, these are things we gotta have to look at carefully and see what we're doing, learn from these instances. Hopefully we can learn. Charlie would have wanted us to learn and grow. I believe that. Not having met the guy, not having, the chance to, I believe, he looks like a good guy. He looked like a good guy. He is a good guy. Rest in peace. Again, my condolences to his family. This is a little tiny podcast that doesn't even, it's probably not even going to reach or whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is that I saw it, like many of you guys and gals out there, it has its impact, and these are my thoughts. My heart goes out, and yeah, let's hopefully learn from this. One shot, one kill. That is, I don't know if it's an amateur, if it's just a hateful amateur, if it's I've got questions. I don't know if it's a professional hit job, because that was a very precise shot, 200 yards, 198 meters. It's basically two soccer fields. That's high. So not the most difficult of shots, but also one shot, one kill. Again, it is, and if it happens that if he was trans, and it's also not going to look good, really, it's not going to look good for the trans community, I'll say that as well. But having said that, I also want to say that, let's not jump on the bandwagon of just saying, all trans are this, and again, generic, broad strokes don't help anybody. I truly believe that. There's good people all around us in every community, and we're all one large community. So again, if it was a maybe I'll say this, maybe let's not, if you're transing, and you go and want to get a gun, let's maybe just, maybe let's pause that for a second. Maybe let's let the transition settle in. You know what I mean? Let's let once we bake the new cake, let's let it cool off before we take a mouthful, take a bite out of that. Let's just let it cool down for a little. If you're, because right now it's not looking good. I'll say that it's not looking good. Having said that, all trans people should should have access to guns, just like any other person should. Adult trans people, and watch out for the kids. But if you're an adult, if you want to transit up. That's freedom of speech. These are things, this freedom of expression, freedom of, just freedom in general. And I believe, again, Charlie would have wanted us to practice that in full. Having said that, let us, if you see a trans with a gun, just be like, yo, let's talk about anything else. Let's do it. Let's do some other sports. Maybe a little bit of, but again, at the end of the day, we don't even know, and it's difficult to find out the absolute truth. The absolute truth is, the only truth that we know right now is that Charlie has passed away. But finding the nitty gritty, these things are, who knows what kind of, there's so many layers to everything. There's so many layers, there's so much information, there's a lot of it is murky, all I can say is my thoughts, my prayers are gonna be with his family tonight, and it's been, because it's a young family. It sucks, absolutely devastating. Hopefully, again, through time, I'm hoping that they can find peace, patience, and strength to, and that only, I hope and I believe there's going to be a lot of people around them, hopefully, to support them with love, and just be there for them. And we've got each other. I'll say that, we've got each other. These pricks, these individuals who do heinous acts like that, they want to see us divided. They want to see us not smiling. They want to see us not laughing. They want to see us not working together. They want to see us divided, whether it's individuals or tiny little, fucking Satan's little fucking crew, dude. You know what it is. It's these ultimate, those are the dark arts. These are the real dark arts. But there's far more light in the world, and I believe that. Because I see it every day in each and every one of you out there. I see it, and I believe in that way more than that crazy stuff that happens. But lots of events are happening in and around the world. Today's going to be a little bit of a different, it's got a different tone to it. Normally I like to keep things very, it's very, it's heavy on the queefs. I'll say that this show heavy on the queefs, heavy on the. But today is just the past couple of days. It's been we all get impacted by these things. That's human. That's human. A lot of things are happening in Nepal. Let's transition skirt, and lots of exciting things are happening. Change is happening. I believe again, one of the most exciting times to be alive, and you feel it, you see it. In Nepal, they just again, it sucks. It has 19 people, I believe 19 young folks died in Nepal. I believe their government banned social media there for a little while, and they call it the Gen Z protest. They went out there and they clashed with the government officials. 19 people died, and it started off as a social media ban, and young generations going out there and saying, hey, we'd like our voice, we'd like our, we'd like this to be available. Yes, it's got its downsides, but there's a lot of pros that come with it as well. Everything comes with these pros and cons. Not everything on social media or even all these texts that we have is great, but a lot of it is great. Brings us closer together, and it does sometimes separate us as well, but let us use it better. Let us learn to use it better. And these are the early stages when we will learn better. We will learn to do better. I believe that. So the young folks in Nepal went out there and they said, yes, we want the TikToks. We want the TikToks, we want the Instagrams, we want the Facebooks, we want the WhatsApps, we want all of it. We want the Snapchats, we want to get on that Telegram and just chit-chatteroo. And initially it was about that, but then it spiraled and things got out of hand. Because that's the thing, apparently the young generation in Nepal, and these events, although they happen in different parts of the world, they've got, parallels could be drawn. Similar parallels could be drawn, I believe that. They're upset. The younger generations are upset, seeing a lot of corruption, seeing a lot of, inaccessibility to wealth and moving up the ladder, essentially. Upward mobility is difficult for younger generations. Why is that? I don't know. There's always been a, disparity between wages and I'm a big time capitalist. I'm a huge capitalist with minimal capital, but nonetheless, capitalist to the core, this guy. Money, dude. Money, because that's the best thing we've got so far. I don't have a better idea how to deal with it, but that's the thing. The young generation wants that money because they see a lot of nepotism and they see a lot of corruption in the government, and they see these kids who are connected to the government, connected to politicians, whatever. High status folks, flaunting their shit, and the mass majority of people, they don't have access to these things. They want to be moving upwards. And that's the thing. And then you come and take away the social media, and then people are like, oh, you can't take away we want to look at tits on social media and other stuff too. And maybe, learn to cook a couple of new recipes, and also just, a little bit of glimpse of what could be if we work hard and, try our best and this, that, and the other. You see a couple of tits, you see a couple of brand new recipes for cakes, you see a couple of muffins, you yerk off, and then you get back to work. But also, when you go back to work, there's got to be a room for upward mobility. It can't just be that, because that's the thing. I heard, it's shit like this. Again, local, global, it's all getting very closely, it's intermingling together. Like the other day, I just heard Oracle's CEO, Ellison, I forget his name, Ellison, he just, for a brief moment, I believe he surpassed Elon Musk as the world's richest man. But then I'm pretty sure Elon's going to become the first trillionaire, at least visible trillionaire on paper, that is, because who knows what other people have in their pockets and on their offshore bank accounts and their, off the books, money supplies and surplus value and all that jazz. Who knows who the actual, but these are the visible richest people. But Oracle, the CEO of the company, the computer company, the artificial intelligence computing company, he just surpassed Elon. And I was so close. I was personally really close to I was about to take it. I was about to go first place. But then this guy fucking skirt, to which I say, I see upward mobility. I'm working towards it each and every day. And one step at a time. Very close, something, what's the, just a few hundred billions. I'm just a few hundred billions, and that was a very close, and it could change on a daily basis. These things could change on a daily basis. So, upward mobility, shout out to the Nepalesian, the people of Nepal, shout out to the younger generations trying to get their voices heard. And it sucks that, again, 19 people had to die, and I'm sure probably there's been more injured and this, that, and the other. And that's Nepal right there, dude. So skirt, local but global, touching one another, tit to tit, heart to heart. We're going to be seeing more of this. I believe we're going to be seeing more, and things will get, it only gets a little bit worse before it gets a little bit better. And it's always in constant change. But we will get through that. We're all in the same body of water, at least. Some of us have heard of boats, but we are all wet. Let's say that. Some of us don't have access to water. Let's be realistic. Dehydration is an issue. Stay hydrated. But we've heard of boats. There are things that float, in water. We've at least heard that. At least we are all aware that 70-80% of the world is wet, and it's made, and you yourself are 70. If you don't have access to water, you yourself squeeze yourself. You are mostly water, and eventually you could be chucked on a boat somewhere. And all tides lift all. Some boats, other boats get. It really depends where you are in life, but mostly it's good to remember we're all wet. Mostly, some of us. To varying degrees. Similar, but yet different. I'll say this, a little skirt, but also it's got a similar vibe to it. Similar vibes, but different. In France, I believe this 53-year-old French anesthetist, a person who puts people under, gives them the anesthetics. He apparently poisoned 12, allegedly. I don't know, he's actually going to be going to court, and I believe he's going to be going through a trial. He poisoned 12 people. He's done it to more people. He's done it to 30 people, but he's killed 12 of the 30 people he allegedly gave anesthetics to. And his thing was, because he would do a little bit more. He'd put people under so they'd get a heart attack, so he'd resuscitate them. Because he loved, apparently, allegedly, according to his colleague, he loved to show off the resuscitation, he loved bringing people back. This motherfucker loved putting people under, giving them heart attacks, poisoning them, and then having the crew kind of freak out, and then going in there, kicking the doors in and saying, watch me fucking bring this guy back to life, dude. And he'd do that, allegedly. I don't know. But what if he did, that sucks, but I believe he's going to be fighting it in court. It's kind of going to be, it's a difficult one, because how do you know, dude? One or two people, if they die on your table, and you're, I don't know the stats on these things in terms of medical professional stats of how many people are okay to die under you or in your hands, or in your hands and under you. And nothing, we're not talking anything sexual, dude. This is professionally, medically assisted, put you under, bring you over. It's all about the over-under. Again, we want to push you over, but we got to bring you under. We got to put you down to bring you up. We got to lift you up and you got to get waterboard, or you got to drown a little bit, and then we'll give you a little bit of oxygen. I don't know what I'm talking about. The point is that this man allegedly likes to put people under and give them little brief moments of, a little bit of cardiac arrest, and then revive them and bring them back, allegedly. So, more of that story, point of that story. It just caught my attention, because it's like, man, you hope that medical professionals don't want to be in it to be just like, showboating, but I guess some people are. But also, low-key, what if he is really good at like bringing people back? What if he does have a talent? Because that'd be a difficult talent to show off. There's no real life application to it other than, created life application. If something happened, it's not every day that you go and seek people who need resuscitation or reviving. So you got to create your own sometimes. It's not like you can go to like American Idol, or America's Got Talent, or Britain's Got Talent, or France's Got Talent, or whatever, one of these shows, and be like, is anybody out there having a heart attack? And most likely not. It's gonna be difficult. So he's gonna need to put people under sometimes, allegedly. 12 out of 30 died, and he did it from young to old. I believe from like 4 to 89, because he doesn't discriminate. 4 to 89, I believe he was just putting him down and trying to bring him back up. 12 out of 30, it's a passing grade. I'll say that it's a passing grade. It's not great. If it was 1 or 2, it would have been good. 1 or 2, nobody would have asked questions. 12, we're almost there at the 50-50%, which is no bueno when it comes to resuscitations and reviving people. But also, if he's really good at it, we got to maybe somehow channel this energy and put it to use. I don't even know why I brought that one up, to be honest with you. It just caught my attention, that's all. It just brought my attention. It just came to my attention and I wanted to say that. But simultaneously in France as well, they're also seeing some things are happening again in and around the world. Times are good, but times are you gotta be, yeah. We're blessed if we're alive and kicking, I'll say that. But there's, France just got rid of another prime minister, and the second one apparently in a year, because of budget cuts and shit. Because a lot of the globe is in debt. A lot of countries are in debt. COVID certainly didn't help. But even prior to that, people were, because people were borrowing money, buying things they can't, afford. All that, it's accumulative debt, global upheaval, wars going on that need to be funded, this, that, and a lot of countries overall are in debt. That's not good, because at the end of the day, we owe ourselves. But then you write a lot of IOUs, and then at one point you got to cash it in, you got to pay it back, and a lot of people are like, oh, don't have it, don't got it, what you want from me? You can only break so many knees. People got to pay for it eventually. And then people are like, well, you got to spend more money to get money. I was like, we've already spent all the money. I got to cut back. And then you cut back and people are like, oh, why are you cutting back? You got to spend money. And then you spend money, that adds to inflation. It's a vicious cycle. I don't know. Maybe we could go back to the gold standard. Maybe you could, if it's, get yours while you can, however you can, for you and your I'll say that. I don't know what you could do. And you got to figure it out individually, but collectively we've got to come together, brothers and sisters. Collectively, the boats will get, dipped in the water. We will build boats. Need be, we will build boats. So France has been seeing a lot of upheaval as well. People have been protesting. They went on a protest, I believe, on Wednesday. I'm not sure if it's still going on. It was a big one called the blackout. Or blackout. Was it a black? It was a blackout. I'm gonna say. They weren't. I don't think they were protesting like blackouts. Oh, we're not down with no more blackouts. And I don't know if that's got to do with electricity or just if it's I don't believe it's a racial. I think it's blackouts in terms of just we're gonna block it out. I don't know what they're blocking out, to be honest with you. But people are everywhere. We need to somehow learn to It's good to have trillionaires. I'm not saying let's not have trillionaires. Let's just give access to other people to also, if people are becoming trillionaires, then more people should be it should be easier to become a millionaire then, because a millionaire doesn't even mean anything anymore. So just saying, unless you want social upheaval everywhere, then we could continue down this path. And again, this guy, big time capitalist with fucking, to the core, I believes it. It's nice, it works. Some of us get to be capitalist with capital. Other one, you got to start somewhere though. I said that to myself. You got to start. So call yourself a capitalist. You don't have much capital now, but you call yourself that. Eventually, you will just for it. I'm for it. Yes. That's how you. It's a mindset. It's a lifestyle. Capitalism is It's a mindset and a lifestyle. All right. I get up and just think, capital. I've been writing in capital letters, I'll say that. I've just been writing in capital letters, all caps, dude. I'm going all caps. It's all about a positive mindset. I'm working and selling and buying and receiving and taking loans and buying and receiving and selling, and capitalism works for everybody. You just got to give it time. You got to believe that too. So I'm believing that, putting it to work, giving it time, and seeing trillionaires and getting fucking inspired. Now I'm like, inspired. Let the inspiration settle. Let it sink in. I'm feeling, just all of it. It's, again, very close to catching up. Extremely close. I'm telling you guys, it was this close. It was this close. I said, you know what? These guys are a little bit older. Let them have it this time. I'll come back next week or the month after, dude. The world is, if we've learned anything, it is unpredictable out there. You never know. So big time capitalist, this guy right here, just fucking pumping the good thoughts in my head and saying yes to gains, no to monetary loss. Inflation, I don't even recognize it. What is it? It's for the poors. It's the poors. That's the poor mindset. What else is going on? I believe this is skirt. Pennsylvania, never been. I'd like to visit one day. I believe a Walmart just kicked out a man and his emotional support alligator. Not the man, but they told him not to bring his emotional support alligator. Yeah, apparently Walmart is like not cool with emotional support alligators. This beautiful man was trying to bring his alligator, and I'm not a fan of alligators. I'll say that. Like for shoes, yes. Alligator shoes, yes. An alligator, a leathered alligator jacket, yes. A cool hat, maybe. Remove your dermis and replace it with alligator skin, yes. But having them around in general, like in the wild, from afar, preferably on television or on phones or on tablets, yes. And real life proximity makes me a little bit uncomfortable. But it makes this guy, apparently makes one guy really comfortable. It's his emotional support pet. Walmart saw that because most people were cool with it, but then others started to say, hey, that's a fucking alligator right there. Don't, because that, if you open that gate up, because that's the thing, we've heard of these things. It used to be just, not too long ago, it used to be just pets were just pets. This is a new term. This is it's not new, but it's relatively new. We didn't have this. Pets were pets. There was no emotional support pet. It was just a pet. You knew what it was for. We used to draw lines, I believe this happened the moment we started really exchange when people started to call their pets their kids, that's when things got murky. You should distinguish between your kid and your, personally, I think that. Some people love their pet. I loved my pets when I was a youngin living under my parents' roof. So I get it. I love it. I cried more for my dog. When he died. Son of a bitch. Why did you? Nonetheless, God, I cried for that dog so much. Rest in peace, Zorro, dude. Fucking. The point is, distinguish. They're not your kids. Definitely, they're very close. I'll say that. But there should be a distinguishing factor between your kids and I'm just saying, between a dog and a cat and your potential kid. All right. But that's the thing. We start blurring those lines. All of a sudden, you start inserting emotional support pet. It's just a pet. It'll lick you, it'll kiss you, it'll snuggle with you, it'll cuddle with you, it'll jump on your lap, it'll run really fast in the house, slip on the carpet, and run into your nuts, and you'll fall to the ground, and everybody will have a good laugh. And moments like that, you'll have moments like that, plenty of moments like that. Or your aunt will be visiting, and one day she'll open the door to the front of the house to take the dog for a walk, not really knowing how much strength the dog has got, because it's a big dog, and the dog will drag your aunt who's visiting and slam her face into the door slightly, not too much. And again, everybody will have a brief moment of laughter and say, you got to really hold on. It's a big dog. You really got to hold on. And your aunt will learn. Again, but separate from a baby. The baby won't do that. A child will not do that unless they're retarded, because we could perhaps, parallels could be drawn. Retarded children and pets, similar, much more similar than average, regular, normal kids. Not to say that the other ones aren't normal, but you know what I mean. This is what happens. Then you start introducing emotional support pet, and then dogs go from regular dogs, cats go from regular cats to becoming emotional cats and dogs. Next thing you know, lines are blurry. Next thing you know, alligator is in Walmart. Your baby's missing an arm now. Why? Because the gentleman picking up deodorant in aisle 7 has an emotional support pet, and it happens to be an alligator. Your husband is missing his cock. What are you gonna do when you can't get prosthetics fast enough? It is becoming an issue once you start blurring certain lines. Emotional support pets, alligators, if it is a thing, yeah, I'm glad to see there's a ban in Walmart. I don't need to see you bringing a python and saying it's your emotional support animal. Where'd it go? It's in my vag. You don't need to be worried about it. Next thing you know, it's wrapped around my neck. You said you'd keep it in your vag, lady. You said you'd keep it in your vag. Oh, emotional support python in your vag. It's just one of those things. It wasn't a sweater, I'm not gonna lie. It looked a little bit cute for alligators. For a moment, I'm like cute, but then instantly I'm like, generational memories just like worked me back into time. And I said, get away, alligator, get away from the tribe. And I just chucked something at the TV. I wasn't even watching it on the TV. I was watching it on my phone, but I wanted to say, get away, alligator, get away. I didn't check anything at the TV. I'm not that loose monetarily speaking, because why? I'm a big time capitalist. That's why I invest in my future. I cherish my TV and my material goods, all right? I don't ruin shit for the sake of generational trauma left back in the day by encountering alligators or tigers or whatever animals they were having relations with. The point is, blurring of the lines, you know, maybe low-key keep an eye on that, unless we want to open it up. And in that case, if you want to blur it up, then let's fucking blur it up. Then if I'm seeing emotionally supportive alligator, you know, giving you, you know, if it's massaging you, if it's rubbing your back with its fucking with its talons and shit, with its little fucking claws, with its, you know, long nails, if it's looking like it's just got a mani-pedi at the, you know, at the local hood mani-pedi spot, and it's got those fucking long, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. If it's one of those, if it's, then I'll you know, I'll introduce my emotionally supportive pet, who's, you know, who's encouraging, who puts me in a good mood whenever things aren't going well. My emotionally supportive I'll bring in a tarantula. I will bring in a couple of tarantulas on a leash. A vulture, that's right, my emotional support vulture, whose head looks like a penis, kind of low-key, like an old penis. I'm imagining, of course. I'd have no idea what an extremely old, but I look at a vulture's head, it low-key looks like an old penis, kind of, an old penis that's, you know, droopy and long, and a little bit like, you know, the shaft is nice and clean, it's shaved, it's smooth, but like wrinkly and kind of, it's kind of low-key. I don't know why. But then there's hair in the pubic bone area. It's a mixed bag. All I'm saying is, if you bring in the alligator, I'm bringing my vulture. I'm bringing in my, you know, I'll bring in my gorillas, dude. I will bring my, you know, I'll bring in my gorilla. I'll bring in my koalas. I'll fucking ride in on a reindeer, dude. I'll come in on a reindeer. I'll just fucking shop around with my reindeer. But that's the reindeers are fine. They're big, intimidating by size, but unless you fucking get in their space, then those antlers are a problem, aren't they? So yeah, just think about it there for a second. But not too long. Let us not think about it for too long. This one lightened up my heart a little bit, made me feel good. Miss Choi in South Korea has just been, she went to court once again. You don't know who Miss Choi is. Some of you may not know. Choi, I forget the rest of her name, so I'll just call her Miss Choi. Choi Le Mong. I forget the rest of her. Miss Choi, let's just call her. She's like 79. She's 79. She had to go to court to get charges dropped. Clean her name up is essentially what she had to do. Because back when she was 18 in South Korea, a man attacked her, a 21-year-old man attacked her and tried to rape her. Tried to molest her, tried to rape her, tried to do all that stuff that she wasn't. Oh, she's like, get off me. And he said, no. I wasn't there, but apparently that's what went down. And then in defense of herself, she bit his tongue. Oh, luckily, I believe she didn't get hurt. Probably a little bit, but like, you know, it could have been worse because she bit his tongue. But that's the thing, back in the day, apparently she went to court and she got a sentence. She spent like 10 months in jail back in the day. And she's like 79 right now. We're talking like 60 years ago. But she went back and she fought it throughout all the decades she fought it. She cleared her name. She spent 10 months in jail, I believe. He got a lighter sentence, even lighter than that. And which she should have never gotten sentenced. But that's the thing, she went and fought it, which reversed the laws, which helped, you know, this brings us to made me happy, because it's like, yeah, you know, you got to ask yourself, could you protect yourself? Should you be able to protect yourself? Yay or nay? The obvious innate answer should be yay, but it sucks because sometimes you'd have cases, you know, globally, everywhere is different, but yeah, it sucks that at the time, the law didn't recognize that a woman, that she needed to protect herself, so she bit this motherfucker's tongue, got 10 months in prison, and then he'd come and like bother at her home. He'd do that. He'd come and bother her at her. He'd barged in he came in one time with a knife apparently or something, asking for the remainder of his tongue, and she's like, I don't have it, but in Korean she said that. You know, a little bit of dim sum, a little bit of chopstick action. I don't have it. Get out of my space, she said in Korean. but the laws have recently changed, which is nice. Because yeah, dude, and that's another. It just reminded me. I'm like, yes, if anybody is getting attacked, bite. Always, play a cool. If you cannot overpower them, male or female, if you can't overpower your attacker, give into it momentarily, gain their trust, go down. If it's most likely it'll be a male who's attacking you, go down on them, be like, you know what, I'm into this. You wanna go down, I'm into it, say you're into it. Or like play along as if you're really into it. Go down on them, bite their dick off, dude. Bite their dick off. Bite the tip of their dick off. That'll, because she bit a piece of the tongue, and I'm telling you right now, that's self-defense. But we should teach that somewhere, like globally. We should, give in effort. If you cannot fight your way out, give in, go down and bite. Go down and bite. Right there, right there. That's a little bit of, lessons learned from Miss Choi. Thank you. And again, global, but local. Wild things are happening all around us and around the world. I believe, what else is going on? I want to say Bob Irvin, who is Steve Irwin's father, the croc whisperer from Australia, the beautiful man who went into the wild and, did nature shows and, introduced you to nature, introduced you to crocodiles and other things, and rest in peace to him as well, Steve Irwin. But I believe his father is now beefing, or he's going up against a guy. His hashtag name, I believe, is the Real Tarzan. Mike Holston, I want to say. Maybe I'm getting the name wrong. Too many names to remember. That's beside the point. He's going up against the Real Tarzan, because apparently the Real Tarzan is a tourist, if I'm not mistaken. I forget where he's from. He might be American, might be Canadian, doesn't matter. The point is, he's visiting Australia and he's going out there making videos wrestling alligators and crocodiles. And Bob Irvin and a group of animal rights activists or animal and people who want to stop animals endangered, like they don't want to see animals endangered, or they don't want to see dangerous animals. I'm not quite sure what the cause is, to be honest, but it's a lot of animals they are dangerous if you're not careful. So I don't know what their cause really is. They'd like animals to be less in danger or less into danger, and it starts at youth. It starts at a young age. You got to educate these animals. Schooling, both parents should be in the household for these, because otherwise it's gonna, the stats speak for itself. That's how you get a dangerous animal. And these guys don't want to see dangerous animals or animals in danger, animals close to danger, animals close within the proximity of dangerous situations, bad neighborhoods, animals dealing crack, crocodiles slinging crack, trying to make money because they've listened to a couple of rap albums and they think driving around in a Mercedes with cool whips and rims and bumping and grinding and hydraulic systems and dice hanging from your rear view mirror and alligators hoochies and just they think this is cool. And there are people out there who are saying, no, animal, no, don't put yourself in danger. And that's the type of man that Bob Irvin is, I believe. And yeah, he's saying that people visit Australia and they're going out there and seeing these dangerous animals who are in danger and getting into situations that is even more dangerous, and they're filming it for the sake of filming it. Because we do that. A lot of us do that these days, and we're probably going to be doing even more of it. Everything's going to be filmed more and more and more. And we're going to integrate until you're just watching yourself and other people simultaneously. Everything moving at probably speeds that we can't even fathom right now. Intertwined in a hive mind, interacting with everything, but not really. Like a little beehive. You know what you're doing, kind of, sort of. There's a big picture. You're a part of it. What is it? Doesn't matter. There's going to be a big, big queen with nice tits and ass. She's going to be telling you to go to work, and you're going to say yes. I don't even know what I'm talking about. The point is, she's going to be fucking getting laid. By whom? Whoever she chooses. guys, bees who are on testosterone, bees who are fucking lifting, bees who are at least, taking TRT, somebody who is able to take her thick bee thighs and lift it over her head and just fucking put it in there, all 6 inches, all 6 inches of bee penis. What are we talking about? Right, Bob Irvin. He's saying these guys are coming in here and they're wrestling with our gators and crocodiles, and he wants to put an end to that, which made me realize, should that be should people be able to travel to other places in other countries and engage with the animals, engage with if you're in the Rastafari, should you be able to engage with whatever the indigenous animal of that area is? Should you go up to, Indian Bengal tiger and just be like, start, gnawing on its ear and see if it does anything? If you go to India, should you be able to engage with the animals and, kiss a snake? Should you be able to go to India and grab a snake and put it down your pants and be like, and then whip it out and say, is it my cock or is it the snake? Two people for show and tell, of course. Whether it's videoed or not, doesn't matter. Should you be able to do that? It does raise a good question. It does raise a good question of us engaging with animals. Do you do it locally? Should you be able to do it globally? That's the thing. It got me to think. I'm like, should we only engage with animals who are local? You know what I mean? Should I only be able to go and, hang around the local back alley and, take a little dumpster dive and see if any raccoons or cats come by, and that's so, or cockroaches for that matter, or rats, beautiful rats. Should I engage with those? Is that okay? And then if that's okay, and that's the thing, if other people visit, if people come to Canada, should I be like, yo, yeah, we've got these moose, we've got these mooses, we got bears, we got bearsies, we got bearses, we got bearses, we got goose, we got gooses, geeses, we got geeses, and there are geeses. And yeah, sometimes we'll be driving and there's a whole bunch of geese. We've got a whole bunch, and they'll sometimes walk right across the street and they'll block the road, and people will fucking, despite the fact that they're in a rush, because they're all capitalists in a rush to get theirs, but they'll wait a few minutes. For a few minutes, we'll all stand in traffic and low-key be like, oh, I was about to, flip somebody's finger, but I'm gonna just enjoy these gooses. And those are our animals, and you can come and visit, and I can go and wrestle them if I want to, but you can't. So I just got me to, and that's the thing, but that's the thing, you're limiting yourself then to only a few bunch of animals in your natural habitat. Should others be able to, engage with the animals? To what extent is the question. Sometimes you only visit other countries for the animals, sometimes, because people are people. People are people. Animals are different though. If you want to see a rhino with a huge rhino vag, sometimes you got to go to the motherland of, rhinos. Africa? You got to go to Africa. It feels right. Rhinos in Africa. It feels like rhinos belong in Africa. It feels like, so if you want to see one, if you want to see a rhino vag, you got to go to Africa. And if you're like, I want to lick its vag, the locals are like, if they're willing to pay or take a pay, you should be able to lick that vag. I'm saying. So I don't know if I'm for it or against it. I mean, don't put them in more danger than they already are, but if you want to put yourself in a little bit of danger, because otherwise, how would we hear about the monkeys? How would we hear about the monkeys when you're visiting the jungles of Amazon? If you don't take a video of you jerking off a little monkey upon a tree, how would I know that there's still monkeys in the Amazon? So I'm torn about this one. Especially because, again, I didn't read the whole article, but I believe Bob Irvin's got a little bit of, again, don't put them in more danger than they already are, and don't put yourself or others in danger. Maybe you should be able to put yourself in danger, because that's like freedom of, if I want to put myself in a jar of danger, if I want to open this mason jar of danger and just put myself in it and lock myself back up, I should be able to do it. Houdini did it once. He died. Probably not the best example, but nonetheless, the point is that I don't know what the point is. The point is that it made me think, but Steve Irwin made videos with animals, but he was local. You'll say that he was local and he was beautiful. Rest in peace, rest in peace. The point is that animals, humans, again, Some guys want to take an emotionally supportive croc alligator to the Walmart. They're getting no's, they're getting nays from Walmart, big companies, others who voice similar opinions. And then some people just want to go engage with animals around the world, and still others are saying, no, don't do it. Yet we enjoy videos of animals. So there's a thin line, or a larger than thin line. There's a line somewhere. There's a balance. It's about maintaining balance. Be good to these dangerous animals in danger, and put yourself in a similar amount of danger if you're going to do it, because it's not fair to the animal to be in more danger and you in less danger. You got to find that balance. Jar of honey in one hand, exposed anus in the other, and that's how you create a balanced environment for you and the bear you're engaging with. Shouldn't all be about you watching them eat salmon, should it? If you want to fight a bear over salmon, because this river is, they say you never step in the same river naked twice with the same amount of urine in your bladder. They say, because depends on what time of day you're visiting this river. Depends how much you had to drink. Sometimes there's a drought. Sometimes there's a bear who's looking at that salmon and saying, oh, I'm gonna eat this juicy salmon. Sometimes you say to yourself, I have not had food for 7 days. I'm gonna take that salmon. You should be able to fight that bear and record it too. Global events, exciting things are happening in and around the world. 19 drones were found in Poland's airspace. Russian drones, apparently, allegedly. I don't know. Things are getting exciting all of a sudden. Not the kind of excitement that we're all like, but exciting nonetheless. Further movement from Russia into Poland now. Who knows? Poland's not happy, because that's the thing. You can mess around with a lot of people's stuff. But airspace, that is, as Chris Tucker once said in Rush Hour, I believe it was 2, maybe it was the first, you don't mess around with another man's airspace. He said that. He said that to Jackie Chan when they were in the car. He said, you don't mess around with another man's airspace. Jackie Chan, he said that. And guess what? Jackie Chan went along and respected Chris Tucker's airspace for the remainder of the Rush Hours. And it's a beautiful franchise. Why? Because somebody said, respect my airspace, homie. Doggy. Playa, homeboy. Respects my airspace up there. That is my airspace. That's the air which is in my space. You respect it. I respect yours. And people respect it. And people respect it, and people live harmoniously side by side. But that's the thing. Russian drones went into Poland, and this is is it more escalation, or is it just like, who knows? But that's the thing. Airspace, it is a little bit. Land space, we're all touching there. You know what it is. If you're on a landmass that's touching a little bit on the border here and there, you know what it is. We're touching already. It's as if we're already naked, sitting in a jacuzzi, enjoying each other's loose dermis, germs, bacteria, bodily fluids, a little bit of fecal matter, enjoying. We're already there. We're touching already on land. Airspace is when we're separated by air, because air does not touch. Air does not, air doesn't travel from what clouds are stationary. Air. Point is, if you're going at it with Ukraine, we're not happy about that, or less of all that. But then all of a sudden you get into Poland's airspace. This is, should people be, I'm just saying, it's a little bit, yo. Because airspaces need to be, airspaces it's right there, dude. It's up there. Because you don't know what our birds be doing up there. Fucking Our birds be flying next thing you know, you put up Russian drones up there, and what if it confuses our birds? What if it confuses the birds? And 19 of them, not one or two, but 19 of them. What if it confuses people? Because they'll look up and be like, oh, those are our drones. These are our Polish drones. And then an older kid from the neighborhood will have to smack another kid on the back of the head and say, hey, dummy, hey, dum-dum. It's a Russian drone, it's not our drone. And that's not a fun situation. It's not a fun situation for anyone. So that happened. A lot of things are happening in and around the world. I believe Qatar just got bombed a little bit. Qatar got bombed a little bit. Israel just got, and things are getting wild little by little. Things are getting, but also we should all come together and hopefully, old leaders from all countries. I see, just a lot, again, young people hopefully could learn from the mistakes of older generations. And because that's the thing, we could all be working together simultaneously, side by side, tit to tit, cheek to cheek, vag to cock. Sometimes for you out there, for you specifically, it could be cock to cock. But unfortunately, there's a lot of, Netanyahu's he's wilding right now. He is just going out there and because I believe he wanted to kill a couple of Hamas leaders who were in Qatar, but he just fucking bombed Qatar. Qatar's all like, yo, what up with that? And that's, again, globally, times are get yours. Okay, that's why I'm telling myself, fucking growth mindset, concentrate on the capital, dollar bills, y'all. Get it. Skirt. What was I gonna say? I don't even, again, a lot of stuff is happening all around us. I'll say this. They just found out scientists, researchers, octopus pervs, found out that octopuses prefer to use particular arms and legs for particular tasks. That's right. Apparently, they don't like to use all the arms for all the tasks. Apparently, they pick fascinating creatures. What are the water aliens? Some call them. Yeah, apparently they like to, use the right arm in the front to scroll and find the videos that they like to watch, the pornos. Apparently you use the arm in the front to scroll. That's how they do it. And then they use the left arm in the front to stroke. They can do it, and they can use the left arm to scroll and find the perfect videos to watch. Pornos, talking pornos, octopus porn. They make them. Tentacle porn, it's a whole genre. Big octopus porn, if you don't know, it's a thing. That's how they make their money. That's how they dominate the waters, most of it at least. So yeah, they can scroll with the left and jerk off with the right, but apparently they scroll with the right and jerk off with the left. And that's what scientists found out. They like to do jujitsu with the front arms. They like to sit on the toilet and use their back arms and or legs for support. That's how they lift the lid that's behind them. They don't even look. They'll use the arms in the back to lift the lid of the toilet. They'll wipe with the arms that are in the front. They'll eat with the arms that are also in the front. They'll wipe their ass with the arms that are in the back. Why? Because they prefer it that way. They have preference. Could they do everything with all their arms? Yes. But the fact that they've figured out, scientists or octopus pervs, they found out recently they can prefer and choose which arms they use for what tasks. Flipping through the newspaper underwater, front arms, giving birth or helping other octopuses give birth by saying push, and pulling the baby octopus out of the octopus's puss. Back arms, that's what they use. Construction work, front arms, they do that. All right, driving around, reverse arms, that's what they do. Throwing a football, front arms, that's what they do. Taking a jackhammer to the asphalt, arms in the back, they do that. They found that out. That's incredible. It's really incredible. Building houses, front arms. Taking houses down, rear arms, arms to the side, that's what they'll use. Playing hopscotch, side arms. Playing tic-tac-toe, rear arms. They do that. Selective. Very smart animals. Beautiful animals. Beautiful animals. Putting on their glasses, apparently they use the front arms. That's right. To take them off, they use the reverse arms. They do that. They do that. Open heart surgery, front arms. Yeah. To open it up. To close it, they use the reverse arms or the side arms sometimes. They've got their preference. They are selective. Building rockets to fly to the moon. Front arms, mainly front arms. When the rockets are landing, they will catch him using the side and reverse arms. Incredible animals, really. Massages, apparently side arms. Getting massaged, they don't have a preference. You can massage any other arms. Oozing ink. All the arms will ooze ink. Receiving ink, getting inked on. Putting ink, inking on some other octopus's face. You know what I'm talking about. Getting a facial, an octopus facial. Front arms, that's right. Enemas, sometimes front, sometimes rear arms. Enemas, when they're giving and or receiving enemas, these octopuses are selective, but they sometimes go front, sometimes go back. Sometimes even, it's been noticed, sometimes they do use the side arms, which is incredible. Sumo wrestling, front arms. Karate, rear. You would have thought the sumo karate would have been both, but no, it's sumo front, karate in the back. Giving haircuts, they use the side arms. Yeah. Landing planes, rear arms. Operating helicopters, front arms. Apparently they're very selective. And again, not that they can't do everything with every hand, but it's incredible that they do different tasks using different, and they select it. That's the selection is the key factor here. So incredible. What else will they do next, ladies and gentlemen? Speaking of pilots, German pilots, the German pilots, they like to go and fly seaplanes sometimes. Researchers have indicated that the German pilots sometimes like to take a little nappy poo when they are in the cockpit. Sound a little bit more French. They could be French and German, but apparently it's just Germans who are taking a survey. German pilots have been surveyed. All right, and apparently they like to just nap in the cockpit. 90% of them apparently like to nap in the cockpit. And I don't know if this is just a German thing, but apparently, so this does not bode well for the pilot community. I'll say that to them. Maybe you shouldn't have even said that. I'll say this right now. Maybe when they're asking you how much you nap on the job, with everything that's been happening with airplanes, flights in general, whether it's passengers or crew member, in general, flights have not been, it's not what it used to be. It's not what it, and I wasn't a big flyer back, and I flown a few times in my lifetime, but again, I think we can all agree that flights have taken a hit. The engine burst over there, the passengers wilding out over here, restraining order over there, get off, and then now you hear German pilots they're napping in the cockpit, and am I pro or, am I against naps in the cockpit? I'll say it's a limited time that they'll be doing this. Anybody really doing any job, everything will eventually it's a matter of years. It's a matter of 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. Most tasks will become automated. So if they're napping now, right now you do have a job right now. There are people who are pilots right now. And there are people who are probably getting trained right now to become pilots. Probably not wise, because it's probably better to, learn to fly a drone, which is not that difficult. But all that to say, the aviation school and the Ray-Bans and the, working in the Navy, those are all still cool. But, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. And this story does not help the pilot community, because now I know you snooze up there. Now I didn't think you'd snooze. I thought you may do a little bit of, I thought you might drink a little bit. I thought you might even do a little coke. What are we doing? We're in the cockpit. We're going to do a little coke in the cockpit. This is a good idea, yeah. This feels right. To do a little bit of coke in the cockpit. To take a little nappy poo in the cockpit. Also a good idea. For the pilot, of course. But it makes the rest of us, if I know you're snoozing, it makes me a little bit nervous now. Now I'm not going to be going into the cockpit and checking on you, but I hope that there are people checking in on you. And again, this does not bode well for the community, because again, jobs, it's already, you got AI monkeys on your back fighting you on one side. You already had other competition coming in from, and German pilots were I had hope for German pilots, because, these are the guys, I was like, these guys fucking know what to do when they get in a cockpit. That's what I want from my German pilot. You get in a cockpit and you got yourself a German pilot. That would have made me feel like, yes. German aviation, German pilot, made me feel good. But now I know you're snoozing up there. Do whatever it takes to stay up. Do whatever it takes. If you need to put, maybe this is a canary in the coal mine moment. Maybe we should put more pilots in the cockpit, maybe a minimum of 2, maybe a throuple, so that they can, one could nap, two could kind of coast, and low-key mix it. If you do whatever you gotta do to stay up, man, you do whatever it takes. If it's boozing, if it's doing a line of coke here and there, if it's jerking off, if it's getting head or going down on a female pilot's vag, whatever it takes, as long as you stay up and the planes are taking off and landing safely. I want you to be happy up there. Keep the rest for, pay them more. If they are, there's going to be a limited time. Pay everybody more until every job is overtaken by AI. But also remember, it's a mindset. Stay on the mindset. Grind, hustle, loyal, fucking loyalty, respect, grinding, hustling, capitalist mindset. Just fucking believe in it, say it, work it. Work it, say it, believe. It's a lifestyle. It's not just a slogan you just say, it's a lifestyle. So I believe it. These guys are apparently snoozing, which made me just, now if I see a gym, now I don't know who's sleeping the least. I want to know I would have thought, would have been hard to tell if it was, if I had to guess, if I had to just, take a quick, if somebody put a gun to my head and a katana to my nuts and say, who's sleeping? Who looks like they're sleeping more on the job in the cockpit area? I would have said Asian, but that's just because they say, yeah, quick, and they're not though. That's just the way people are. But now I find out it's Germans. God. What else is going on? I believe there was a congressional hearing. And again, with everything that's happening, it's like, what do you even keep? Again, keep your money on you. Keep working and getting that money, because you never know what the fuck is going on. It could be social upheaval. It could be good times. It could be this. It could be that. You got to be prepared. And sometimes you miss out on things, and you're like, what? While we were talking about this, that, and the other, this thing happened, and did it happen? What am I talking about? Congressional hearing on UAPs. Apparently, this past week, we just found out. Again, they showed an image. I saw the video. I don't know what it is. Like on all the other videos about UAPs, it's a blurry video, but nonetheless, it's in the Congress. It's a hearing about UAPs. There's a mystery orb that flies by. We see the mystery orb. I believe they caught it in somewhere in the Middle East, I want to say. Somewhere in the Middle East, maybe Africa, Oman, somewhere. Doesn't matter. The point is they caught this orb, mystery orb. And then we tracked it, and then we shot at it with a missile. We saw this mystery orb. We didn't know what it was. We shot it, and it bounced off this orb. So everything that's been going on, everything that is going on simultaneously, we might be getting, or what? I wish I had more clarity, because again, I don't know. I don't have the answers, like many things. I don't know if I like to believe we have, I'd like to believe there's life out there, somewhere out there in the vastness of all of it. I'd like to see some, physical, tangible evidence. That'd be nice. But again, you see a video, I don't know what to make. I don't know anything about the, you see a video, you're like, what is this? Is it real? Is it fake? Is it AI? What is it? Is it just another distraction? And most things are. Again, most important thing you should be concentrating on is, again, I say this to myself and I try to practice again, capitalist mindset, try to get it. Okay? Because you got to take care of you and your family. That's the thing. That's the most important thing. You and your immediate family. That's the most important. I always say that. I say that to myself. I try to practice it little by little, one tiny step at a time. And I'm like, you know what? Mr. Allison from Oracle, I see your billions. And I was, again, this time you got there first. All right, Elon, I see your trillion and I'm right there behind you. Just missing a trillion, but like right there behind you, dude. And I supports it. So I see stuff like this. I'm like, yo, whilst all this rat racing is going on, are we getting visited by orbs, mystery orbs? And did we just shoot at it? God damn, did we just shoot at a mystery orb? Is it an alien? Did we shoot at an alien? Do they know that we're like that now? Do they know that should we be shooting at it? Did it shoot at us at any point? We shot at it and it bounced off it and it just continued on its journey. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's just like, they brought it to the Congress, okay? They brought it to the Congress and we shot at it and it just bounced off this thing and it just flew by again. It just fucking, like nothing. Is it man-made? Is it somebody else make it? Is it, just makes me, should we be shooting at it? Like, because we don't know what it is. If it's, balloons, let's shoot at balloons. I'm down with, if you see, again, airspace, air drones, you shoot at a drone. You see a balloon, you see a Chinese balloon, you shoot at it. I get it. You see it's unidentified drone, you shoot it. I get it. But a mystery orb, because now we shot at it. That's a little, now what if have we shot at more? Do we shoot at more? Do we shoot at more UAPs? How many more? Because they said there's more similar videos. More similar in what sense? More similar mystery orbs or more similar videos of us shooting at the said mystery orbs. What kind of message are we putting out there? Should I be concerned in terms of if I see a mystery orb? I'm not saying I have, but if I do, I don't have things to shoot at it. But should I like pounce on it? What kind of things are we dealing with? Should I pounce on it and like low-key just fucking hold it down and tickle it until the authorities get there and like, take care of it? In which, do you want me to, should I be tickling the orb if I see it? What if I don't see an orb? What if it's just like what if I see like, low-key, what if I see a newcomer? It just makes me nervous. Just jump on their back and kind of tickle them until the authorities get there. Should I call ICE when I see a mystery orb and or somebody who is low-key just making me feel like, I don't know what to do, but we shot at it and it bounced off it. So it makes me feel like that's what we're doing now, fucking shooting at mystery orbs. Put up a message that's not all we do, at least, say, like, put up a message. Shoot up a couple of, hire a couple of planes to just drive by with, like, friendly message. We're mostly peaceful, say that. We got our issues, local, global issues, but we're mostly peaceful. And then do the drive-by. Don't just, because if that's the message we send out there, then what if they come back with bigger, thicker guns? What if they got girthier guns than us? Then what do we do then? Unless we know what kind of guns they've got, then what is going on is all I'm saying. Why did we shoot at the mystery orb? Did it shoot at us at any point? I'd like to know more, is what I'm saying. Again, most interesting times. While all this was going on, 70 containers from a cargo ship just dropped loose. I don't know what they were doing. 70 of these shipping containers went from China to the Long Beach port. They were supposed to be delivering God knows what. Fentanyl? The Wuhan? Who knows? Something from China came to Long Beach port, and it was going to be a regular day at the port, but next thing you know, 70 of these giant shipping containers just fell into the ocean. How? What happened? What happened there? How do you drop 70 shipping containers in the ocean, dude? What was in it? I wonder what was inside. Just made me think it's like one or two, maybe like, okay, one, it's an accident. Was 70 of them? We dropped 70? What was inside these shipping containers? Which makes me want to get a shipping container now. Because I'm like, yo, we're just being frivolous with these shipping containers. Next thing you know, there's going to be a high demand on shipping containers. Next thing you know, people are going to be running to the grocery store, to get a shipping container. Because everybody's like, oh, no, there's no shipping container. Get yours. And that's when I come in and I'm like, yo, surplus shipping container. And that's how I make my trillions of dollars and become the richest man on earth, having made my money on giant shipping containers. Why? Supply and demand, basic capitalism. Basic, but it works. You want it? I got it. You need it? I have it. You want some? Get some. Like, not right now, because I don't have it, but because that's the thing, I looks for it. If it's a thing, if shipping containers are just, we don't care about shipping containers. We're frivolous with our shipping. We've got so many shipping containers. We don't know how they're coming in. We don't know how they're going out. We're going to be loose with our shipping containers. Next thing you know, your boy's fucking collecting shipping containers, son. You're just throwing it in the ocean, and I'm just there fucking scooping up shipping containers, putting them, don't worry about it, somewhere. What am I doing? Investing. In what? The future. Which is what? A giant shipping container, which could be used for what? Shipping. What do we talk about in the beginning of the show? That we're all what? Made of water. We're mostly what? Wet. Where do you need these containers to be? On a ship. What do we got? Vessels. Where do they go? In the water. What do they contain? Shipping containers. What's inside? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's a fucking giant box that you could put anything inside of. Furniture. Shoes. Food. Animals. People. You can refurbish them later on if you like. Make them into houses. Houses. And look, you can just like look at them too. They kind of, a whole lot of them kind of look cool together. You could put them underground, make them into an underground bunker on a budget. Who wants it? Your boys got it. Who just made bank on frivolous spending and carelessness in the shipping industry and shipping containers? Your boy did. So yeah, don't say, oh, I don't know how to, just fucking find it. It's there. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay wet. Peace out.